Hi, I'm Dr. Arden Compton, and I'm going to show you how to use EFT to address the fear of repeating a past mistake or a past failure. It is the past failures and the past mistakes that really slow us down. When we can let go of all fear of repeating those past failures and those past mistakes, it's much easier to move forward. Now, I'm going to give you a template, as it were, an idea of how to do this. I'm going to coach you through the process with you focusing on your own fear, but be aware your individual history may need to be addressed slightly differently than the way I'm presenting it here. Don't think that this is the only way to do it. I'm showing you a way to address it, and you need to modify what I'm presenting here to fit your situation, your past, however many failures that it is that you've had. And certainly you've had more than one, okay? We all have, and we need to let go of all fear of repeating those past failures. Forgiveness is a key aspect of this. Forgiving yourself, forgiving others. What I'd like you to do first is reflect for a moment, and can you think of a past failure that still has an emotional charge to it? In other words, if as you reflect on it and you think about that past failure or that past mistake, you feel something, you feel hurt, or you feel failure, or you feel stupid, or you feel inadequate, or you feel regret. Any number of things are possible. But can you think of a past failure that has an emotional charge? Pause this for a moment if you need to and really reflect for a moment. I'm going to assume that you have one that has an emotional charge. I'm just going to go with the feeling of regret. Okay? You could have a different feeling. In fact, at some point you probably do have a different feeling. For now, I'm just going to use regret as an example as we work through this. Before we address that, well, let's back up for a minute here. First of all, fear of repeating a past mistake. As you think of that past mistake, on a scale of 0 to 10, how strong is the fear that you're going to repeat it? 10 being, yeah, I'm really just scared to death I'm going to repeat that mistake or that failure. Okay, 0 is I'm not a bit worried that I'm going to repeat it, even though I'm not fearful that I will. So you put your own best guess on it. How strong is that fear? Okay, write that down, whatever it is, you write down your own fear. Okay, now let's go to the feeling of regret. As you reflect on that mistake of the past, how strong is the feeling of regret? So we're distinguishing between the knowledge of regret and the emotion of regret. Okay, so as you reflect on that, is there that feeling of, boy, just that regrettable feeling? Put that on a scale of 0 to 10. If you have another emotion that is stronger than that, you can plug in your emotion if you want to. Okay? So reflect on that, and I'm going to assume you have a basic knowledge of EFT. If you have no experience with EFT, you could try to follow along anyway. We're going to tap on a series of acupuncture points focusing on that feeling of regret. Okay? So join with me. Start tapping. Say this feeling of regret. I still love and accept myself even though I have this feeling of regret. And you're repeating after me. I completely love and accept myself, even though I have this feeling of regret. When I think back on this past mistake, I still feel the regret. I still love and forgive myself, but I still feel that regret. That regret, that regret, that regret, that regret, that regret. I really wish it hadn't happened that way. I really wish it had turned out differently. That regret, that regret. Even though it's regrettable that it happened, I choose to forgive myself and leave the feeling of regret in the past. Even though it's regrettable that it happened, I don't need to feel that regret now. That regret, I choose to let it go. That regret, I completely forgive myself for all that I said and did, all that I didn't say and didn't do, that's contributing to the feeling of regret. I forgive myself for the mistakes. I forgive myself for the failures. I forgive others that played a negative role in this. I completely forgive and leave it all in the past. I don't need to feel that regret now. Sure, it's regrettable. It's absolutely regrettable. But I want the way I feel now to be based on what's happening now. I want the way I feel now to be based on now. So I come to the present and leave the regret in the past. In front of me now are opportunities for joy, opportunities for success. I choose to take advantage of those. If I just focus on the regret, it's like driving down the road looking in the rearview mirror. And I'm just going to bump into more things. And I'll see those through the rearview mirror. And I'll regret even more. And I'll just regret. And nothing will get any better because of this emotion of regret. It just will attract more things for me to regret. So I forgive myself, and I'm not looking in the rearview mirror anymore. I'm looking straight ahead at where I want to go, at what I want to create, at what I want to have happen. I choose to learn from that event, learn from that mistake, learn from that failure, step up and be even better. Step up and be better than I was before. And if I have another failure that I regret, I'll learn from it too. I forgive myself for that mistake. And I choose to let it go. Okay, so now reassess. As you reflect on that event, whatever it was, 0 to 10, how strong is that feeling of regret? Really check at a gut level. The knowledge of things will be the same. It will still be regrettable. Hopefully you feel a lessening of the feeling of regret. If there's still some intensity to that, if you started at an 8 and you dropped to a 5, or went from an 8 to a 7, or went from 8 to a 9, if there's still some intensity, then you need to go through that process again and dig in deep and reassess. Okay, what is it that I really regret the most? Answer that question. The thing I still regret the most is, what's the first thing that came to mind? Put that into a setup phrase and go through that tapping process again. Okay, until you can reflect on that event and no longer feel an emotional charge.